Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to wire up some 4th gen heated seats into a 3rd gen. This won't work unless you already have heated seats in your 3rd gen. So basically, as you go through this video, I will have wiring diagrams throughout. Sorry, they're hand drawn, they're not amazing, but they should be pretty straightforward. On the passenger seat, I taped up the red and black wires on the harness because I don't have a powered passenger seat. But if you have a powered passenger seat, you just have to use the red and black wires from the 3rd gen harness to tie into the module on the 4th gen passenger seat. If you have any questions, you can always message me and ask me. And hopefully this video helps you out. Please like and subscribe.
So what you need to do, you need to take your harness out of your 3rd gen seats. This is from the driver's side. There's another one on the passenger side. The passenger side doesn't have this module in it, but you're going to need both. So what I'm doing now is I'm unwrapping all this protective tubing off of it, because I'm getting rid of all the wiring for the power seat and just breaking it down to the heated functions only, because I can make the 4th gen module work for the power function but not for the heating. So I'll pause the video and pick up after I've peeled it all off. Okay, so the only two that I didn't unwrap here are this is the crossover one to the passenger seat, and then this is the one for the seat belt sensor, and this is the one that goes to the heating elements. So I'm going to carry on untaping these other wires and untangling them, and I'll pick up after that. So this is the middle plug. This plugs in kind of in the middle of the seat on the 3rd gen seat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart, pop the red and black wire out of it. So you see that you got this tab here, you got to unhook them. And slide them that way, which will release this inner piece outwards. And then it's got the same tabs in behind the wire. So you see in this bottom one that doesn't have a wire in there, it's got a tab you got to push that way. Same in this red one and the black one. So I'm going to pause the video and pop these out. Okay, so now that you got those popped out, this section of the harness should be free. You don't need that anymore. Looks like that. So now you'll be left with this section still here. The reason I pop these two wires out is because I'm going to use them to power up the existing 4th gen module for the power function of the seat. Now I'm going to keep wrapping. So this will be what you're left with once you get it all taped up. This is your crossover to the passenger seat. You got your seat belt plug, your heating plug, your controller. This is the one that plugs into the floor of your truck. And then these are the two that we're going to use to power up the 4th gen module. So let's take it in the truck here. I'm just going to find a good place to clip it under the seat, and then once it's in there, I'll start videoing again. What you want to do, you want to take this harness that we made. This is all from the 3rd gen. You can plug it in here into the floor of the truck. You can plug it into the crossover line here. This has not been modified. This is all from 3rd gen going up to the jump seat. You can plug in your, over here is your seat belt plug. Just plug that in there. And then you should be left with just this plug, 4 wires. You don't have to modify this at all, but you do have to modify stuff on the seat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tuck this module up in here. Get your 3rd gen module up in there. This I've already tied in. I was gonna put it in this video, but I did some mistakes filming. But basically, big black wire, big red wire that we took out of the plug earlier in this video. You tie them in with the big black and the big red from this plug, and this is the 4th gen plug that goes to the 4th gen module. So these are the only 2 wires you have to tie in for the power of the movement of the seat. Okay, so you got those tied in, and then this is just your heat plug here. So what you got to do is you got to go down here and unplug this one from your seat heater module, the 4th gen one, which would have been plugged in here. So you just unplug that, and you'll see there's a yellow wire that I've cut and a black wire that I've cut. I've already started putting this in here. Don't get on me about this not being the right way. I know it's not the right way. I can't find my soldering wire, so I'm just doing this for now. But basically, you want to splice in the black and the yellow. Leave these 2. These are the seat temperature sense, so you don't have to modify those at all. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna tie in from this big plug here. Just gonna undo this here for a second, or try to. Okay, so the female side you don't want to use. This goes to the 4th gen module, so you get that out of the way. Don't accidentally use that, otherwise your back seat heat won't work. It'll only be the base of it that'll work. So just kind of tuck that out of the way. And then this male side, which has a bit of a clip here onto the seat. It's a real pain in the butt. So let me get a screwdriver in here. Just unhook that. Okay. And you see how this one goes down into the back of the seats. It's this is the one you want to tie into. You're gonna have to plug this one back in once you've taken the wires out of it that you need. But you basically want to go in here, and in the middle here, it's hard to see here, there's a green with a gray stripe right at the tip of my finger there, the smaller wire, and then behind it you'll see a black with a white stripe. Those are the 2 that you're going to want to take out. If you look from this side, it would be this pin and that pin. So these 2 that are one above the other, one in from the outside. So I'm going to pop those out, and then I'll start filming again. You can actually cut these. You don't got to worry about popping them out, because it's a real pain in the butt. So you can just cut them off, those 2 that I just showed you. So now you have the, sorry, get this out of here. You have your green wire with a brown, or it could be brown or gray, it's kind of hard to tell, stripe, and your black with a white stripe. Separated from here. You kind of have to peel this tape off a bit here to get enough slack on it. So basically pop these out, and now on this plug you're going to inline, you're going to tie the green wire in line between the 2 yellows. So basically there, and then the black with the white you're going to tie in line with the black in here. Right, so I'm going to clamp that. So this is basically what it looks like, as you can see here. I know it's hokey, should have been soldered, but it'll work. I'm just going to tape it up all nice and clean now, and then you plug this back into that over there. So this is what it looks like all taped up. Just plug this one back in here, and then you plug this one that you did all the connecting, plug it into your 3rd gen harness. And that's it. You can kind of tidy up the wires under here however you deem necessary, but that's the gist of it. Everything should work at this point. Okay, so this was the harness from the 3rd gen. So if you follow it along here, this is the piece that plugs in between on the jump seat. There's a plug there, comes along, there's a plug here, and then this one goes to the outlet on the jump seat with the lighter, or the power outlet. So you keep following this along, you get to here. Now this I've already taken out of here, but basically in this loom there's obviously this, and then this was all kind of entangled in it as well, and also the only thing connecting this section of loom with all the green wires was the large red wire and the large black wire, which I disconnected out of here. But it turns out I didn't really need to. You could have just cut them and taped them off. So basically you want to get rid of this. This is just for cleanliness. You don't even really need to get rid of this, but I just did it because I didn't want a whole clutter of wires on under my seat. So you don't need that. And then you'll be left with essentially this wire, and the tape here is where I taped up the red and black wire. So then that leaves you only with this plug that fits into the existing heated seat plug of the 4th gen. And if you see over in this corner, you'll have this wire coming from underneath the back of the seat here, and it'll come to a big yellow plug. I've already unplugged the harness off of it, which looks like this. So this module is under the seat from the 4th gen. Not using that, not using this whole harness. I just unplugged everything on it. It's not gonna have to cut anything on this. And what you're left with is these 2 plugs. There's also a 3rd plug over here, but this is for the airbag, so you don't got to worry about that. So on this one, which is the big yellow plug, there's a black wire with a white stripe. You need that. And a green wire with a brown stripe. It's kind of hard to see here, but green with a brown stripe. So yeah, there might be more wires in this loom, but you don't worry about those ones. Just pop these 2 out for now. And then this other wire here that also goes into the seat back with this airbag one. They both kind of go through the same spot. Comes to this gray plug. And on this gray plug, you want to cut the yellow wire and the black wire. Don't accidentally cut the black wire with a red stripe that I did. I didn't do it on purpose, but yeah. So cut these 2. You can solder them or use a butt connector. I'm going to use a butt connector because I can't find my soldering wire for now. So, okay, so like I said, black wire from this gray plug. You cut it here, and then you connect the black, connect it obviously to the same black wire that it was coming from, and then the black wire with the white stripe from this yellow plug. And then for this yellow wire, you cut the yellow wire and then connect the green wire with a brown stripe also from this yellow plug. So the reason you have to do this is so that the power goes to the back of the seat as well as the base of the seat. The red and black stripe wires, you don't do anything with those. So then you just want to plug this in to your harness here. And this is the harness from the 3rd gen. Stripped down a bit. I will have already explained that. Just plug that in here. And then you want to test it. I'm just going to fire up the truck and test it. All taped up. Should look like this. It's your 3rd gen plug plugged into the seat heater plug, which goes to here and to there. So this is your finished product here now. Just poke these in here and you're good to go. I'm gonna bolt the seat in. It's now. I'll just tilt this back here now. Pop in here. Fire up the truck for this to go. My 3rd gen controls here. Light lights up there. Just wait a few seconds. I mean, obviously, I can't show you that the heat is working, but I can tell you that if you enjoyed this video, like,
subscribe!
yeah!